From translation, RSV Revised Standard Version. This 25th day of the year. Today we are reading passages Exodus 22 to 24. Exodus chapter 22, verses 1 to 31. If a man steals an ox or a sheep and kills it or sells it, he shall pay 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief is found breaking in, and he is struck so that he dies, there shall be no blood guilt for him. If the sun has risen upon him, there shall be blood guilt for him. He shall make full restitution. If he has nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the theft is certainly found alive in his hand, whether it is ox or ass or sheep, he shall pay double. If a man causes a field or vineyard to be grazed over, or lets his beast loose to graze in another man's field, he shall make restitution from the best in his own field and in the best of his own vineyard. If fire breaks out and catches in thorns, so that the stacked grain, or the standing grain, or the field is consumed, he who kindled the fire shall make full restitution. If a man delivers to his neighbor money or goods to keep, and it is stolen out of the man's house, if the thief is found, he shall pay double. If the thief is not found, then the master of the house shall come near to God, to show whether he has put his hand to his neighbor's goods. For every breach of trust, whether it is for ox, for ass, for sheep, for clothing, or for any kind of lost thing of which one says, "This is it," the cause of both parties shall come before God. He whom God shall condemn shall pay double to his neighbor. If a man delivers to his neighbor an ass or an ox or a sheep or any beast to keep, and it dies or is hurt or is driven away, without anyone seeing it, an oath before the Lord shall be required of the two of them, whether he has not put his hand to his neighbor's property. And the owner shall accept the oath, and he shall not make restitution. But if it is stolen from him, he shall make restitution to its owner. If it is torn by beasts, let him bring it as evidence. He shall not make restitution for what has been torn. If a man borrows anything of his neighbor, and it is hurt or dies, its owner being not present, he shall make full restitution. If the owner was present, he shall not make restitution. If it was hired, it came for its hire. If a man seduces a virgin who is not betrothed and lies with her, he shall give the marriage present for her and make her his wife. But if her father utterly refuses to give her to him, he shall pay money equal to the marriage present for virgins. You shall not permit a sorceress to live. Whoever lies with a beast shall be put to death. Whoever sacrifices to any god, save to the Lord only, shall be utterly destroyed. You shall not wrong a stranger or oppress him, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. You shall not afflict any widow or orphan. If you afflict them and they cry out to me, I will surely hear their cry, and my wrath will burn, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall become widows and your children fatherless. If you lend money to any of my people with you who is poor, you shall not be to him as a creditor, and you shall not exact interest from him. If you ever take your neighbor's garment in pledge, you shall restore it to him before the sun goes down. For that is his only covering, it is his mantle for his body. In what else shall he sleep? And if he cries to me, I will hear, for I am compassionate. You shall not revile God, nor curse a ruler of your people. You shall not delay to offer from your harvest and your vintage. The firstborn of your sons you shall give to me. You shall do the same with your oxen and with your sheep. 7 days it shall be with its dam. On the 8th day you shall give it to me. You shall be men consecrated to me. Therefore you shall not eat any flesh that is torn by beasts in the field. You shall cast it to the dogs. Exodus chapter 23, verses 1 to 33. You shall not utter a false report. You shall not join hands with a wicked man, to be a malicious witness. You shall not follow a multitude to do evil. You shall not bear witness in a suit, turning aside after a multitude, so as to pervert justice. Nor shall you be partial to a poor man in his suit. If you meet your enemy's ox or his ass going astray, you shall bring it back to him. If you see the ass of one who hates you lying under its burden, you shall refrain from leaving him with it. You shall help him to lift it up. You shall not pervert the justice due to your poor in his suit. Keep far from a false charge, and do not slay the innocent and the righteous, for I will not acquit the wicked. And you shall take no bribe, for a bribe blinds the officials, and subverts the cause of those who are in the right. You shall not oppress a stranger. You know the heart of a stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. For 6 years you shall sow your land and gather in its yield. But the 7th year you shall let it rest and lie fallow, that the poor of your people may eat, and what they leave the beasts of the field may eat. You shall do the same with your vineyard and with your olive orchard. 6 days you shall do your work, but on the 7th day you shall rest, that your ox and your ass may have rest, and the son of your handmaid and the alien may be refreshed. In everything that I have said to you be circumspect. And make no mention of the names of other gods, nor let it be heard on your lips. 3 times in the year you shall hold a festival to me. You shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. For 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, as I commanded you, at the time appointed in the month Abib, For in it you came out of Egypt. None shall appear before me empty. You shall observe the feast of harvest, of the first fruits of your labor, of what you sow in the field. You shall observe the feast of ingathering at the end of the year, when you gather in from the field the fruit of your labor. 3 times in the year all your males shall appear before the Lord God. You shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leaven, neither shall the fat of my festival remain until the morning. The choicest first fruits of your ground you shall bring into the house of the Lord your God. You shall not boil a kid in its mother's milk. Behold, I send an angel before you, to guard you on the way, and to bring you to the place which I have prepared. Give heed to him and hearken to his voice, do not rebel against him, for he will not pardon your transgression, for my name is in him. But if you hearken attentively to his voice and do all that I say, then I will be an enemy to your enemies and an adversary to your adversaries. For my angel will go before you and bring you into the Amorites, and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Canaanites, the Hivites and the Jebusites, and I will blot them out. You shall not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do as they do, but you shall utterly overthrow them and break their pillars in pieces. You shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water. And I will take sickness away from among you. None shall miscarry or be barren in your land. I will fulfill the number of your days. I will send my terror before you, and will discomfit all the people to whom you shall come, and I will make all your enemies turn their backs to you. And I will send hornets before you, which shall drive out the Hivites, the Canaanites, and the Hittites from before you. I will not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become desolate and the wild beasts multiply against you. Little by little I will drive them out from before you, until you have increased and possessed the land. I will set your bounds from the Red Sea to the Sea of the Philistines, and from the wilderness to the Euphrates. For I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you shall drive them out before you. You shall make no covenant with them or with their gods. They shall not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me. For if you serve their gods, it will surely be a snare to you. Exodus chapter 24, verses 1 to 18. Then he said to Moses, Come up to the Lord, you and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship afar off. And Moses alone shall come near to the Lord, but they shall not come near, and the people shall not come up with him. And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the ordinances. And all the people answered with one voice, and said, All the words which the Lord has spoken we will do. And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord, and he rose up early in the morning, and built an altar at the foot of the mountain, and 12 pillars, according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the people of Israel, who offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen to the Lord. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he dashed against the altar. Then he took the book of the covenant, and read it in the hearing of the people. And they said, All that the Lord has spoken we will do, and we will be obedient. And Moses took the blood and dashed it on the people, and said, Behold the blood of the covenant which the Lord has made with you in accordance with all these words. Then Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel went up, and they saw the God of Israel. And there was under his feet as it were a pavement of sapphire stone, like the very heaven for clearness. And he did not lay his hand on the chief men of the people of Israel. They beheld God, and ate and drank. The Lord said to Moses, Come up to me on the mountain, and wait there. And I will give you the tables of stone, with the law and the commandment, which I have written for their instruction. So Moses rose with his assistant Joshua, and Moses went up into the mountain of God. And to the elders he said, Wait here for us until we come to you again. And behold, Aaron and Hur are with you. Whoever has a cause, let him go to them. Then Moses went up into the mountain, and the cloud covered the mountain. The glory of the Lord settled upon Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. And on the 7th day he called to Moses out of the midst of the cloud. The appearance of the glory of the Lord was like a devouring fire on the top of the mountain, in the sight of the people of Israel. And Moses entered the midst of the cloud, and went up on the mountain. And Moses was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights.